So you guys, me Tech Reviews, and we are reviewing the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL, and yeah, let's get into it. So we're gonna just talk about the body of this thing. It feels really good in the hands. It has a nice polished space grade aluminum frame. It's got that sexy camera visor with 3 cameras in the back. We got a main lens, ultra wide, and telephoto lens, all equipped with 50 megapixels. At least that's the resolution you get from what I've seen in the photos I've taken. I think it's supposed to be like 50 megapixels main, 48 on ultra wide and telephoto, but from my experience in taking pictures, it does all say 50.1 megapixels when you're using high-res photo mode. And we'll talk about the cameras here in a little bit. Right now I want to talk about the feel in the hand. It feels great. The body is fine. We have the power button and volume rockers all on the same side, unlike the iPhone. We have no camera control buttons on here, no SIM card tray, it's just straight eSIM. And yeah, it feels great. Like I said, I keep repeating myself. The design on here is very nice. I love the moonstone color. Moonshine. Need a drink right now. Oop. I don't know if I'll get demonetized for saying that, but anywho, this is a very sexy color. I love this color. It's great. I wish Apple had better colors this year, but it is what it is. This phone has a nice weight to it. It feels premium despite it being aluminum sides. No titanium or stainless steel on this thing, but nonetheless, you can't go wrong with this design. You have speakers down here, speakers on the top right here. And the speakers on here this year sound phenomenal. We'll get into the testing of that here in a little bit in this video. But yeah, the design on this is great. Google did a good job. It looks the same as the 9 Pro XL last year, but they did something on the visor that's slightly bigger or different. So last year's cases will not fit on the Pixel 10 Pro XL. So the weight of this thing is 232 grams. It's got Gorilla Glass Victus 2, glass back, aluminum frame, like I said. We have IP68 dust, tight and water resistant, immersible in water, 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. We have an LTPO OLED display with 120 hertz, variable refresh rate, HDR 10 plus. We have 3,300 nits of peak brightness outside. We have 2,200 nits HDR. We have a 88% screen to body ratio. The resolution is 1344 by 2992 pixels with a 20 by 9 aspect ratio. We have 468 PPI density, and the higher the PPI, the more crisp the screen and text will be, essentially is what that means. We have up to, let's see, 1 terabyte, 16 gigabytes of RAM, UFS 4.0, which is fast internal storage, which means fast transfer speeds and whatnot. Like I said before, 50 megapixel main sensor. We'll get into the cameras here in a little bit. Stereo speakers, we have Wi-Fi 6E and 7 tri-band. We have Bluetooth 6.0, which is great. Should be better for connectivity and the range of connectivity, essentially. We have GPS on here, NFC, USB Type-C 3.2, which is fast. We have fingerprint display on here. We have a face unlock, which you can use for biometrics for banking apps and whatnot, just like Apple. However, it doesn't have like the nano dots and 3D, whatever it does, whatever the Face ID does on Apple, that's not here on the Pixel, so you won't be able to use it in the dark is what I'm trying to say. You need to be in good lights to use the face unlock on here, not Face ID, face unlock. And if it's too dark, you can default to the fingerprint sensor, which is pretty cool to have options. Apple, take notes. Let's see, we have a 42 megapixel selfie camera on here. 5200 milliamp battery, 45 watt wired charging, 70% in 30 minutes, 25 watt wireless charging, thanks to Pixel Snap, which we'll talk about a little bit. Pixel Snap is basically Pixel's MagSafe. Pretty cool that they finally brought that on here. And yeah, so I'm done talking about the specs. So let's talk about real life experience of using this phone. So most people care about the battery life of their phone, right? So the Pixel does have a large battery on here. I believe I said it was 5200 milliamps, and it does last a whole day. Obviously, if you first get the phone and you are transferring data and re-downloading apps and just, you know, the new phone thing, there's going to be a lot of background processing, and your first day or two with the phone, you might have crappy battery life, which is normal. After that, you get what the little phone will eventually learn your habits, and it has like adaptive battery on here, and you do get all day battery life. And if you don't, at least the phone charges very fast. So battery life is good on here. You can't go wrong with the Pixel 10 Pro XL when it comes to battery life. Now, the other thing that we care about when it comes to cameras, and I won't save cameras for last, I'll talk about it right now since that's one of the main things people care about when they watch phone reviews. Well, me in particular, I care about learning about the cameras and if they're worth the upgrade. And unlike last year's Pixel, I don't think they changed anything in the camera hardware department. So when it comes to the Pixel 9 Pro XL, when I tested out last year, with the camera still being the same, as always, Google relies on software to enhance their photos. In this year's model, they introduced ProRes Zoom, which is very confusing since Apple uses ProRes for their video, like when they talk about their videos and their Pro Video mode stuff. But ProRes Zoom, essentially what it does is anything at 30 times and beyond, it will use generative AI, keyword generative, which means it was never there in the first place. It was generated by AI to construct the image to what the AI believes is there. So for example, if there's a grainy image that you took at 30 times and more, it will analyze it. And if it detects it's a flower, it's an animal, it will generate what it believes to be the picture and make that the photo. So essentially it's not real. It's what the AI believes is actually there, and it enhances the details and creates a photo, or how do I word this? It creates the flowers essentially that it believes are there, and it just generates it out of the blue. Boom, it's there. To make it a little bit more clear. So it's different than Samsung's, for example. Samsung is known for having like really good zoom photos. It's different than that. It actually generates something that's not there, that it believes is there from the grainy image that you take from 30 times and beyond. Pretty cool, but at the same time, it makes us question, like, what is a photo? Like, is that even real? But thankfully, Google does have metadata on there. I forget what it's called. It's like C something 2 metadata, where it will pretty much tell you like, hey, this photo was generated AI. So anything that you take 30 times and above, it will pretty much say like, this is an AI generated image. It's not really real, yada, yada. So that's this year's special addition to the camera. I mean, with it being software, it should go to the Pixel 9 Pro XL since it's not really a hardware thing, unless it's a Tensor G5 thing that only the Tensor G5 can process and do versus the G4. Not entirely sure since I don't have the Pixel 9 anymore, but with everything being software, logically, or just like, you would think that it could go down to the next phone because G4 isn't that much weaker than G5. There's a significant, well, a little upgrade, but nothing like a Snapdragon Elite 5 that just came out, or the Apple's A19 Pro or A18 Pro. So with that being the special feature this year, it's not really worth the whole upgrade. So I will say just right now, if you're the Pixel 9 Pro XL, this may not be worth the upgrade unless you really want that MagSafe Pixel Snap, that enhanced ProRes Zoom, the bigger battery. Yeah, because that's all I can think of, because Gemini is like the main thing that was on the Pixel 9 Pro XL that pretty much was the talk of the phone, was all software stuff. Not really much in the hardware department, unless you want this moonstone color, the new jade color that comes with these phones. So I have some like examples, picture samples and video samples to show you guys as we keep moving along. Check those out, pause this video, pixel peep if you'd like. But now I'll present to you the photos and video examples briefly, because I have a full photo and video comparison between the iPhone that I'm going to be releasing as well. And you can take a gander for yourself and compare them. But overall, the camera department on here, you can't go wrong, especially in daylight. It has that beautiful computational photography. It has beautiful colors, a little high on the sharpness and contrast, but Pixel is known for having very contrasty photos, which makes it what it is. Like, you know, a Pixel photo because you can tell by the color science that, oh, a Pixel definitely took that. So it leans on the magenta side, it leans on the cooler side at times, but it does switch it up a little bit. With the iPhone, you'll know you have an iPhone photo because it tends to lean on that warmer yellow hues. The Pixel tends to lean on the magenta cooler colors, and it definitely has great clarity. It's great on skin tones with darker people. So you can't go wrong in the camera department with the Pixel 10 Pro XL. Now, when it comes to watching movies on here, it's great. The brightness is really bright. HDR looks great on here. It's crisp, it's clear, and the speakers on here sound great. So one of the main enhancements also, not only is the camera department a little bit an upgrade, but the speakers on here are so much better than the Pixel 9 Pro XL. It's literally on par with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, 17 Pro Max. It's great. You can't go wrong with the speakers on here, man. They definitely boosted the bass, the volume, the clarity. Everything on here is much improved, and I'll show you right now.
Trace the cracks on the floor tonight. Neon shadows dance in the broken light. A heartbeat loud, but it's out of sync. Lost in the rhythm, I can't quite dream. It's heavy.
All right, now check out the iPhone to compare.
Trace the cracks on the floor tonight. Neon shadows dance in the broken light. A heartbeat loud, but it's out of sync. Lost in the rhythm, I can't quite dream. It's heavy, it pulls me off. Pull me in that twist.
All right, leave a comment below what you think sounded better. I had to listen to those back and forth, and man, they are really neck and neck. The iPhone has slightly better clarity, but not by much. So Pixel definitely has a huge upgrade when it comes to the speakers. And if you are not happy with your Pixel 9 Pro XL speakers, definitely upgrade to the Pixel 10 because it is night and day. And I remember the Pixel 9 speakers being not that impressive. It's last year. So yeah, this is definitely a huge upgrade if you are definitely considering the speakers on here. Now, connectivity on here, Bluetooth, Android Auto, no issues connecting there at all. Phone calls never dropped. Yeah, Bluetooth connectivity's been great. Never had any issues with that either. So when it comes to connectivity and call quality on here, people could hear me clear just fine. No issues in that department. Just make sure I have that part covered. So one thing I did not cover is gaming. And I'm gonna throw that in this video somewhere. So right now I have Destiny, the new game that's very graphically demanding. I'm going to test out. So there's no drop frames and it looks pretty good. Speakers sound great. So I'm gonna go to the settings right here, go to graphics. So we have max graphics. And if you try to go to high frame rate, it'll say your device does not support this. But on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, it does support this. So the Pixel already is limited when it comes to games like Destiny. But it can render the highest graphics, which is cool. Max graphics, standard frame rate, ultra. So like no matter what grid ring quality I go to, I can't do max graphics. Or high graphics. Can't do any of it. So I'm stuck with this. So how does it play? Let's see. So on the Pixel it looks good because we have that one little dot. No drop frames for that I could see. I imagine it's 30 frames and not 60 FPS.
It's the Haven militia. We have got to help them.
Are you from Haven? What happened?
This is supposed to be a regular patrol. We weren't ready for this kind of fight. Are you the backup?
We're here to help.
All right, so software on here, it's great. You can't go wrong with it, and I'll tell you why. The bugs on iOS 26 and iPhones, even the iPhone 17 Pro Max, are still kind of there. Still kind of hiccups here and there. The fluid on this, phenomenal. Can't go wrong. I mean, just swiping across, just swiping back and forth, opening apps, everything's smooth. I never had any issues with the camera app crashing or freezing on me. Everything opens the way it should. Everything in the RAM stays there in memory because it's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. Gemini obviously controls everything, and it's really great. You have circle to search on here. You can ask it anything. I never was able to activate Magic Q when I had my eSIM in here. That never popped up, but that is a thing on here. And it also has like the morning briefs, I believe. Let's see here. What is this? Made for you daily listen. There's a daily listen now.
Welcome to your daily listen.
We're your AI hosts, bringing you stories from across the web.
We've got a lot of stories to tell, so let's get started.
Let's start with the first story.
Our first story takes us to a deep dive into Apple's latest smartwatch lineup, specifically focusing on the Apple Watch SE 3, which just launched.
So with this, it's basically taking the stories that I often look at based on my Google searches and in my interests, and it recognizes that those are the topics I'm interested in, and then it makes like a little podcast out of it, which is interesting. This is new, by the way. I didn't see this when I first got the phone earlier in the month, so I think that's pretty interesting and another cool addition. Definitely more useful than Samsung's like morning brief or whatever, but that was pretty cool, not gonna lie. But yeah, Gemini's on here. You can have it pretty much do anything. When your Google Workspace, you get Gemini Pro for free for a year when you get a Google phone. It can help you with your emails, drafting emails, scheduling stuff in your calendar, sending text messages, scheduling events, and then sending the event to a person and all that jazz. You've seen the examples in plenty of videos, I'm sure by now, because it's been out for a while and I'm kind of late to making this review, but it's definitely more useful than Siri at the moment. And Apple has a lot of catching up to do when it comes to that department. I do love Google Photos is able to edit images a lot better than the Apple Photos app, because you can use like the Pixel Studio and what have you on there, which is pretty cool. So if I want to edit an image, for example, let me screen record this so you guys can see it. And hopefully it shows up in the Photos album, not in the Files album. So screen recording on here, like I say that because I couldn't find screen recordings on here that I made in the Photos app. I had to go like to the Files app to find it, which was weird. But anywho, here's some stuff on here with help me edit is a new feature, right? So I'm going to say, add a baseball cap to the dog and make him wear a gold chain. So now it's going to generate what I asked it to generate, or edit, create the edit that I asked it to edit. It'll take like maybe a minute or a few seconds. And now he has a hat and a gold chain, and there's different variations on here. I think I'll go with that one. That looks pretty cool. Oh no, stop. Okay, save as copy. And there we go. Now my dog is wearing a cap and a gold chain. Pretty cool. I wish Apple could do something cool like this, but obviously they're not there yet. And you can't do this in the iOS version of the Photos app, so that sucks. But yeah, we went from this to this, and I think that's pretty cool. Now, if I wanted to do more, like, let's see. Eliminate the tree from the background. Make my dog wear a sombrero and a silver chain, and make there be birds flying in the background where the tree used to be. All right, it's a pretty complex one, so let's see how it does. Give it a few more seconds. Maybe because this was a longer prompt. It's taking some time to create what I wanted to create. Okay, cool. So we got the sombrero, the tree's gone. It's no longer in the background. We have different variations of birds. This one probably isn't as good. That one's strange, just like they're trying to come at my dog. But I think the first prompt, the second's pretty good. I'm gonna go with the second prompt. All right, so we're gonna save copy. And there you go. So there's a lot of different things you can do to edit. So we can enhance the photo. And this is actually gonna be on iOS as well, enhancing the photo, not enhancing. So let's go to Tools. And Magic Eraser is different from the Pixel Studio, which I think is an iOS, because Help Me Edit is, oh, maybe Magic Eraser might be different on Google. So if I want to eliminate the tree, all right, yeah, it does do some generating. So on iOS is different. You have to do like the studio thing for Magic Eraser. But no, it didn't eliminate the tree. I want to get rid of the tree. Erase the tree. Okay, tree's gone. So yeah, this is Google's Photos Edit. Help Me Edit is the new feature on here. And when it comes to the camera, there's also Camera Coach on there, which I'm not a fan of, because it's like the AI is telling you how to take a photo. Pretty good, maybe for people who are completely inexperienced and don't know what to do with a photo or how to take it. Maybe that's cool, but other than that, I think that's about it when it comes to the features and whatnot. And yeah, I think with all this being software, that should be in the Pixel 9 Pro XL as well. You have Add Me on here that you guys have seen last year, where you can pretty much take a photo by yourself essentially. So you had like a, what's it called, a tripod. You can be funny and take photos of yourself and then add yourself in another photo for like 2 of you in one photo. And there's Best Take, which has been there. And I think the new thing this year is that it'll automatically select the best photo that it believes is there and make people smile. And I think that's about it. So that's it when it comes to the software department. There's a call screening, there's live translations, there's all that stuff on here that I can't really showcase because I don't really have anybody to live translate. Nobody that I know that speaks Spanish fluently like that to make a phone call with, but it is there and those are options. And iOS does have the call screening now as well and live translations with AirPods. But yeah, we'll talk about that in the comparison when I do a video comparing these two phones together. So we'll get there. But yeah, software on here is pretty good. The bugs are better than iPhone. A lot of things are better than iPhone on this and this department. Cameras go back and forth, and we'll get in there in a little bit in the next video. But yeah, software on here, pretty good. A+. So all in all, would I recommend this phone? Yes, most definitely. And the only reason why I'm not keeping this phone is not iMessage, it's not FaceTime, it's not AirDrop, it's the cameras. I love the cameras on here. However, after using the iPhone 17 Pro Max, I do think the 17 Pro Max does take overall better pictures by slightly and videos by far. And I do like the new features that Apple has brought with dual video. And yeah, I know it's been on Android for a while, specifically Samsung phones. I do like the new front-facing camera. It's pretty cool they are using a bigger square sensor for better lighting, better cropping, and just overall the center stage, auto framing and all that, which I don't use, but all that is very well welcomed. I was hoping for a higher resolution front-facing camera. 12 to 18 is not that big of a jump. I heard it was gonna be 24, but it's not. And that's disappointing, but megapixels don't make the photo, composition and lighting does, so it is what it is. But from the 9 Pro XL, as long as you are okay with having a tinny sounding speaker, don't upgrade. The cameras aren't that much different. Everything is software. When it comes to hardware, you get I believe the same size battery, if not slightly bigger. The speakers are phenomenally better. The camera is slightly better, if not the same, because it's all software processing. The Tensor G5, you still have to, yeah, let me get there. I'm going back and forth, I can't stay on topic. The camera is the reason why I don't want to keep the phone, because of the processing. So I know I'm nitpicking, but like I want the best of the best, and I'm comparing the best of the best, and this is their best. It's 2025 and this takes a while to process photos, and a while is like maybe 10 seconds, 5 seconds. I know it's not that long, but the Samsung and iPhone process the images kind of right away. So night sight takes a while to produce. Astrophotography is like 4 minutes for like similar results to iOS and Samsung. And I know Astro mode does have like an Astro clip that's like 2 seconds from that 4-minute photo taking or whatever. Video boost is my main gripe. I was hoping Pixel could take great iPhone level videos without video boost, but it's not there. There's no log, there's no ProRes video on here, there's no log video on here. And with this being a Pro phone, you would expect all the Pro features, at least all the Pro features that its predecessors have, to compete. And it doesn't have that. It doesn't bring it to the table. It does have this thing that I heard about with video mode that you have to unlock with like a certain app or whatever, where you can utilize the whole sensor and it's like raw video essentially, and it's pretty good. But Apple brought Apple ProRes RAW too and OpenGate. So I don't know. But if you don't care about those things, go ahead and upgrade. If you're coming from like the Pixel 7 and 8, definitely upgrade. But if you're coming from the 9, unless you want better speakers, you don't really need to upgrade this year. Leave your thoughts below. If you have the Pixel 10 Pro XL, did you go with this? Did you go with Apple? Did you go to Samsung? Let's talk in the comments below. This has been Tech Reviews. Thanks for watching. Peace.